Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to this course of data mining and data warehousing. So this course is definitely a very interesting course, and it is a very interesting addition to the previous discussion we have had on database management systems or DBMS, because this course will be building on those ideas to provide in-depth details of both data warehousing and data mining as well. So we'll first start this course with an introduction or some introductory remarks and introductory discussions, and we are very thankful to the MIT OpenCourseware website, and I will be discussing these points from the Information Technology 1 course that has been listed in the MIT OpenCourseware website. Again, we are very thankful to MIT for providing such nice and such up-to-date and such great information. So we'll continue with our discussion, which is basically taken from MIT OpenCourseware. So basically we will be discussing the essence of business intelligence, right? And business intelligence is a very great point that is very important these days, and almost all organizations are working on these aspects. Because of course, when you're doing business, you want to increase sales, you want to increase customer satisfaction, and you want to expand. So unless you employ these business intelligence techniques, you're not able to get competitive advantage over your other business rivals. So the outline that we will be discussing in this introduction: operational versus decision support systems, what is data mining, overview of data mining techniques, overview of data mining process, and of course data warehouses and web mining and text mining. So first of all, we'll take a look at basically the difference between operational versus decision support systems. Now, we have two kinds of systems: operational systems and decision support systems, right? So in operational systems, we are dealing with transactional processes or transactions between suppliers, customers and partners. So these are the two parties with which we are having the transactions. Supplier might be having a transaction with partner, and supplier might be having a transaction with customers, and so on. So these circles represent the communicating or transactional parties. So transactional processes or operational systems directly deal with these parties, that are suppliers, customers and partners. Okay. For example, if I'm buying something from Amazon, or if I'm buying something from Daraz, I'm having a direct transaction with the supplier, which is Amazon or Daraz for that matter. But decision support processes or decision support systems, on the other hand, do not directly interact with the suppliers, customers or partners. They rather interact with the data that has been created, the transactional data that has been created by these transactional processes, also termed as historic data previously. So we can look at some points: operational versus decision support systems. What are operational systems? They support day-to-day transactions, and since they support day-to-day transactions, they contain current and up-to-date data, and that is logical, right? If I am buying something from Daraz or if I am buying something from Amazon, whenever I buy, right, an item is added into my order and an item is deleted from the Amazon's or the Daraz's inventory. So it happens real time. So at the end of once the transaction has committed, the system contains updated data. The stock has been updated, right? One would have been subtracted from the quantity in the stock. So operational systems would contain up-to-date data, and as the example shows, it contains of customer orders, inventory levels, bank account balances, etc. On the other hand, decision support systems, they support strategic decision making. So since they are working for the decision making and strategic decision making, they contain historical or summarized data. For example, I would have the data in a decision support system, which might consist of transactions for 2 years for Daraz, or 2 years for Amazon, or transactions for for example, it is 2024, so the historical data might consist of all transactions is 2023. So it would there that all the transactions of 2023 would be represented as summarized data that can be analyzed and proper decision can be made. So what are the examples? Performance summary, customer profitability, market segmentation. So an organization can measure the performance. For example, a bank can measure the performance by the by the number of new accounts that were opened, and also by the balance increases in the existing accounts. Similarly, Amazon or Daraz can go for customer profitability. They can analyze the business or the sales to certain customers, and of course market segmentation. There are systems that would judge the market segmentation of a particular organization. For example, if Daraz wants to find out how much of the market share Daraz is having of the total e-commerce that is taking place in Pakistan, so a decision support system can help Daraz with that kind of information. So an example of an operational or transactional system would be, for example, an order entry system. This has been shown as a form of Microsoft Access, but this same thing can be produced by a server-side technology or a server-side program that can produce this. Server-side technologies like Java servlets, JSP, Java server pages can produce these kinds of things for customers. On the other hand, in a decision support system, we are having annual performance summary. For example, most valuable products. So we can have a knowledge about it. Best customers can be represented. Most important countries can be represented. Again, this summary would be based on historical data or a large amount of data, for example, for a certain year, as it has been shown, right? So decision support systems would work on historical data. Historical data can also be termed as data that has been collected over a period of time. So what basically is data mining? So data mining is a combination of artificial intelligence and statistical analysis to discover information that is hidden in the data, right? So what do we mean by that? We mean by associations, right? We want to find associations. For example, linking purchase of pizza with beer. Like in Pakistan, we would link the purchase of pizza with Pepsi, right? Then we also look about sequences. And sequences are basically events which are tied together. For example, when the event of marriage occurs, there is an event of purchase of furniture. So these two are linked. We can also have classifications. For example, recognizing patterns such as the attributes of customers that are most likely to quit. So what are the salient features of the customers that are quitting? And we can also use data mining for forecasting or extrapolating. For example, predicting buying habits of customers based on past patterns. Remember, we have seen in Amazon or Daraz that when we shop on Amazon or Daraz, when we return to Amazon or Daraz is telling us about it gives us just a feed like you might also like, and it tells you a few products. So that's precisely this forecasting, right? Based on our previous buying or searching practices, the e-commerce websites are smart enough to present us with our interesting items in which we are interested. So now we can look at sample data mining applications First is direct marketing, and to identify which prospects should be included in a mailing list, right? So we can find out which products we should advertise in a mailing list. Market segmentation, identify common characteristics of customers who buy same products, right? So if someone is buying UPS, so we find out the common characteristics of customers who are buying certain products such as UPS. Customer churn, predict which customers are likely to leave your company for a competitor. Market basket analysis, identify what products are likely be bought together. Again, this is common practice on Amazon or Daraz, especially on Amazon. You see customers who bought this also bought this, right? So this is basically the analysis or the result of market basket analysis. So we can have insurance claim analysis, discover patterns for fraudulent transactions, compare current transactions against those patterns. So we can find out which are legitimate or valid transactions, and we can find out which transactions are invalid or fraudulent, right?